Hi, everyone. We are back. Hope you can hear me okay. I'll turn the volume up. Volume up. Okay. We should be back soon. They went on a break. Let's get some more.
The last access date and time from the computer system is February 3rd, 2025 at 8:42 a.m., correct?
The last access date and time from the computer system is that date and time. That's correct.
So between December 14th and February 3rd, there are 4 different accesses to your prior divorce folder on your computer, correct?
From the computer system, yes.
That you have no recollection of.
That I have no recollection of.
Yeah, right.
But you are looking at Ariel's documents on her hard drive about divorce, correct?
Yes, I did look at that divorce folder on her portable hard drive on that date and time.
And during that time period, you're also looking into Ariel's old pay stubs, right?
Yes.
You're also looking into your tax notes that include information about how much alimony and child support you paid, right?
Again, I don't recall looking at a 2018 tax notes during that time, but that tax document was accessed by the system at that time, and that tax document does include alimony and child support.
Oh, yeah. We just
And
randomly.
you're researching these financial documents
Tax returns
and
for
these
no
divorce
reason.
documents because you want to see how much damage you're going to suffer in a divorce.
That's
Isn't that
right.
right?
That's not right.
That's exactly right. So obvious. Just admit
In
it.
January, you also review your wedding documents again. Is
But
that correct?
no, these people don't admit this kind of stuff.
I don't recall. Maybe show me what you're discussing.
On January 22nd, 2025, you access your wedding spreadsheet again, correct?
I might have. I don't specifically recall.
Spreadsheet? What the hell is a wedding
Published dates
spreadsheet?
124 at page 11. The access date is January 22nd, 2025, correct?
That's correct.
And this is another spreadsheet with the same material we talked about earlier, correct?
Yeah, that's another
Guest list, right?
version of the wedding spreadsheet. Yes.
It's got your guest list on it, yes?
Yes.
It's got your task that each of you have to do.
Yes.
It's got the financials, right?
Yes.
And on the same date, January 22nd, 2025, at 3:04 p.m., you view a document called Worthington Koenig Wedding Room Block 9.14.18, correct?
I don't remember doing that at all.
You have no recollection of
I
this.
have no recollection of doing that.
It's the same date as the Excel spreadsheet, right?
Yes.
We're going to publish dates 124 at page 12. And again, if you can look, the file system last access date, January 22nd, 2025 at 3:04 p.m., correct?
Yes, I see that.
Okay. And in this document, this is the reservation for the venue of your wedding, correct?
That's right.
And it specifically shows how much that cost. Isn't that right?
I have no recollection of what's on that document.
No recollection. Okay, we'll publish the next page. There's a table in the middle right here, isn't there?
Yeah, and that's the guest room block. So that shows if our guests decide to stay at that hotel, what they would pay under the wedding rate for those 3 different rooms.
Move on to the next page.
Why would he be?
Follow, or what you have to decide.
Sure.
What the rules are. And this has an anticipated revenue section, correct?
Anticipated revenue.
Yeah, so they had a minimum. So we were holding our wedding at this venue, and they had a minimum revenue that they needed to generate from room reservations from our guests, and that was the minimum.
What?
And the overall cost for your wedding was $55,000 approximately, correct?
That sounds about right. I don't recall the exact number.
I highly doubt that. He doesn't recall.
But
you were
is
looking
that in that document? Is
Asked
that-
you in general.
No. Oh, I'm just wondering where you got your number from.
The overall cost from your wedding is from your spreadsheet.
No,
correct?
sir, you are not
Yes.
in charge. You are
So
not.
you're looking up multiple different spreadsheets with the cost, right?
I have no recollection of looking at the wedding room block document.
I just wonder where you got your number from. I just wonder where you got your number from. He seems to forget he's in a freaking murder trial. You're not a doctor anymore. You're not married anymore. Well, technically, you probably are. You're probably going to be in jail for the rest of your life. So, yeah.
I don't have a recollection of looking at the wedding spreadsheet either, but I could potentially think of a reason why I would have done that. But I've no recollection of opening that wedding room block and have no idea why I would have done that.
The next date that you open the wedding spreadsheet is February 24th, 2025. Isn't that correct?
I don't remember opening the wedding spreadsheet, but
You don't recall? Okay. You also open a document called Final Floral Proposal on March 14th, 2025. Isn't that correct?
no, I don't think I did. I don't remember doing that. And if that's related to the wedding, I certainly did not look at the floral contract or whatever. What is it called?
You're saying you did not look at the floral contract
No,
or the final floral proposal. Is that right?
I 100% did not look at the final floral proposal for our wedding in March.
The published states 124 at page 21. The document that we're looking at has a file name of Final Floral Proposal, correct?
That's correct.
File system, last access date and time, March 14, 2025.
Yeah, the computer system accessed it on that date and time. I have no recollection of opening this document and looking at that date and time.
The computer system did all this.
Yes.
The computer system opened this document, is what you're saying today.
I'm not sure what the computer system did. It says accessed. That is what the computer system
So that means you did it, dude.
The computer system accessed this document, right?
That's correct.
Okay. On January 22nd, 2025, you viewed a UBS portfolio detailing your and your wife's retirement accounts, correct?
That's correct.
And that was a statement from December 2004, correct?
2004?
2024, correct?
Yes.
So in December 2024, you get the UBS statement detailing how much you and your wife have in your retirement accounts. Is
That's
that
correct.
right?
Yes.
And you reviewed that on January 22nd, 2025.
Yes, I do remember that.
And this is actually within a month of getting the statement, right?
That's right.
It makes sense to review
Okay.
the statement, within a month of getting it, right?
Yes.
Do you remember the figures in the statement?
I do not.
Would it help if we go through them together?
Yes.
Okay. States 126. We'll publish starting with the first page. This is just the metadata again that shows you you accessed this on January 22nd, 2025, correct?
Yes.
And again, statements from December 2024, right?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to look at a page detailing your Roth IRA your Roth IRA next, okay? Okay, here's a summary page, correct?
Yes.
All right, and Gerhard Koenig, you have in this UBS account an Roth IRA value of $8,066.95, correct?
That's correct.
Ariel Koenig has a Roth valued at $74,974, correct?
That's correct.
Ariel Koenig has a second IRA valued at $164,500.76, correct?
That's correct.
For your account, that's a little over $8,000. Ariel is the sole beneficiary. Is that right?
That's right.
Anything happens to you, she gets 100%, right?
That's right.
For Ariel's Roth, the one that's about $75,000, you are the sole beneficiary, right?
That's right.
Anything happens to Ariel, that money goes to you, correct?
That's correct.
Oh,
For
damn.
Ariel's IRA, valued at $164,000,
Wow, that's a big discrepancy. So if something happens to her, he gets over $100,000.
approximately, you are also the sole beneficiary, correct?
That's correct.
anything happens to Ariel, that $164,000 goes to you. Is that
That's
right?
right.
Whoa.
In January 22nd, 2025, that's about the same time that you're doing all your life insurance work, right?
That's right.
And that's the same, or around the same time that you send Ariel that email instructing her to get a $250,000 life insurance policy, correct?
I did not instruct her to get that. It was a discussion that we had together, and the email was a summary of the product and the person to talk to after I contacted AAA. So I wasn't telling her to get life insurance. It was here, contact this guy and ask for this product to get the life insurance that we discussed.
And you sent that on January 21st, is that correct?
I don't recall the exact date, but that sounds like it's the right date.
On February 4th, 2025, you viewed a May 2022 pay stub for Ariel, isn't that correct?
I'm sorry, say that again?
On February 4th, 2025 at 2:29 p.m., you viewed a May 2022 pay stub for Ariel, correct?
May
I
200.
have no recollection of that.
Why would he? What is he? Very calculated person. Very calculated person. This is bad. This is really bad.
We'll publish States Exhibit 125 at page 22. This is the metadata, correct, Dr. Koenig?
Yes,
And again, the document we're looking at is a pay stub, correct?
that's right. That's one pay stub from 2022
Why would she?
at the end of May.
And
Why?
this is in your taxes folder on your computer, right?
Yes, that's in the shared drive in the taxes folder. That's correct.
Your testimony today is you have no recollection of looking at this.
I have no recollection of looking at this
And the information contained in this pay stub is only the amount Ariel got paid that 1 month,
for
right?
that 1 month, correct? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense that I would have looked at 1 month of pay stub data from 2 years ago at
Wouldn't
that
make
time.
any sense, right?
It would not.
Huh. Okay. Then who was looking at it? A ghost?
On March 14th, 2025, you viewed a 2018 Wealthfront account statement for Ariel. Isn't that correct?
I don't have any recollection of that.
Published States Exhibit 125 at page 24.
This is all really implicating evidence
Now,
of
again,
meditation.
this is about a 2018 statement, correct?
That's correct.
And this is a statement for an account, a retirement account, or sorry, an investment account belonging only to Ariel. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, but I don't even think she still had it at this point in time. So this was a
Objection, non-responsive.
yeah. I have no recollection. I have no recollection of looking at this document.
This document is from 2018, correct?
That's correct.
And again, no recollection.
No recollection.
On March 16th, 2025, you viewed a document, again, about Ariel's retirement accounts, correct?
I don't have a. I might have.
Interesting.
In a published States Exhibit 125 at page 36. On March 16th, 2025, you accessed a document that belongs or that is about Ariel's financials, correct?
Yes, you did. Don't bother denying it. You obviously did.
This is on my desktop. I don't know what's in that document.
So this document isn't actually even in your taxes folder, right?
Right. This is on my desktop.
Meaning every time you open up your desktop, you see this document, right?
No, I have probably 3 dozen different random documents that just tend to collect on my desktop. If I copy something and email it, sometimes I put it on my desktop for, during that time. I was not aware that this was on my desktop. I'm sure it was. That's the location of it, and I don't remember. I don't remember what this document is at all.
This document is again from 2022, right?
That's correct.
And this is showing how much Ariel had in her Westinghouse retirement account in 2022. Is that right?
I can't answer that unless I can look at the document.
We'll publish the next page. This is a similar document to one that we viewed this morning, right?
Yes.
Okay, and it tells you in the top right, which I'll zoom in on, how much Ariel had in her retirement account as of a certain date, correct?
I mean, why? Just ask yourself, why would you, as a spouse, be obsessively looking at financial documents about retirement, making searches about child support, looking at pay stubs, and getting new life insurance? Think about it for a minute. I mean, not hard to figure out.
Yes, it says the total value of that account. And what's the date?
This guy
Date was,
thinks he looks so.
and just a couple seconds later, publishing the next page, again at 3:30 p.m., you click on a different YouTube link for the top 10 easy Oahu hikes for everyone. Is that right?
Yes.
So first you look at best hikes, right?
Yes.
And then you see these 2 YouTube videos for easy hikes, right?
Yes.
You don't watch these whole videos, right?
Probably not.
You don't watch these videos because at next page, 7 out of 10, 3:31 p.m., you're looking up difficult hikes, right?
That's right.
Because easy hikes is not for you, right?
Yeah, the hikes that I found on the Easy Hikes website wasn't what we were looking for.
Difficult hikes are generally more dangerous, right?
Sometimes. Sometimes they're just longer.
Difficult hikes have rougher terrain, right?
Sometimes.
Difficult hikes have higher drop-offs, right?
Not necessarily.
Difficult hikes can have more exposure, correct?
They could.
And these difficult hikes, these are the kinds of hikes you are interested in, right?
Yes.
Probably.
Now, your search for difficult hikes brought you to a website called journeyera.com. Is that right?
That's right.
And the first page you looked at on journeyera.com, I'm going to scroll to page 8 of this exhibit, is the URL just says Oahu hikes. Is that right?
That's right.
And again, you're listing Journey Era on February 28, 2025, correct?
Yes.
So this is still the first day that you're researching hiking, correct?
That's correct.
And moving on to the next one, next page, page number 9, you end up going to a page on journeyera.com saying the 35 best hikes on Oahu, the ultimate guide, right?
Yes.
Although the URL talks about the Stairway to Heaven, this is actually a list of 35 hikes, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And on that list, you see the Palipuka hike, correct?
Yeah, among 34 others.
And then on March 3rd, 2025, you go back to the journeyera.com website. Is that right?
That's right.
And this time you're going to look at the Palipuka hike page specifically, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. March 3rd, 2025, 7:19 a.m., correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And you've seen the website you looked at up on the screen, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to put it up and go through it together. All right, this is the front page of the website, right?
Yes.
All right, we're going to go to page 2. When you read this, you saw that sentence that says, the Pali Lookout itself is a popular tourist spot, but 99% of visitors to the lookout don't hike. They just look over the valley. You saw that sentence, right?
I'm sure I did. Yeah.
And then you saw the page that describes the hike. Isn't that right?
That's right.
You read the description?
Yes.
So you read the description that says, the hike isn't necessarily dangerous, but much of the path is on the edge of a huge drop-off. You read that, right?
I'm sure I did.
And you read the sentence that says, does that make it dangerous? You decide.
I'm sure I did. I remember reading this whole article.
So you remember reading the whole article.
Yes.
You remember reading the part that says that the hike spits you out on the edge of a cliff with a huge drop-off.
Holy
If it says
crap.
that, then I read that.
You remember looking at this picture of the hike, right?
Yes.
And you see this picture, and this is what you want to do.
Yes.
This is the hike you want to take Ariel on, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. He sure does. Mm-hmm.
Next page.
Pretty obvious.
In this page, the author.
Let's go. It's that time of year again. Let's take this one step further.
One sec.
Points bet.
Remember from the description is that you can keep going past this for a little while still, but it's close to the end.
And this is
I've never
ultimately
been
where
there.
you want to take Ariel, right?
Yes.
This was the plan, to take her to this section, correct?
Yes.
And to take Ariel to this section of the puka, you have to take her through this section, correct?
Yes.
You have to take her
Oh.
along this trail, along the cliff. Is that right?
Oh.
Presumably, I never got to this point in the trail, but according to the pictures, yes.
You never got this far on the trail, right?
No.
The plan
Holy
was to
shit.
get that far on the trail, though, right?
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's terrifying. Terrifying. Oh my goodness. My goodness.
And then you saw the end of the article. Sorry, I'll put it back up. You saw the end of the article where it gives you advice, right? Where it says, be safe going down and take it slow as it can be slippery and the drop looks very unforgiving.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
thank
read that, right?
Yes.
wow. Thank God
Now,
she didn't.
while this is all going on, you've also been working on updating the insurance, correct?
Yeah. So we applied at the end of January, and this was March 4th. Yeah. By this time, I think Aries policy had already gone through, and either one and maybe one of my policies did, but not both.
Your insurance policy doesn't go through partially until March 12th and then completely on March 24th. Is that correct?
That sounds right.
On March 17th, you actually search up Ariel's profile on Facebook again. Is that correct?
I don't have a specific recollection of that, but I probably did.
Probably.
And on March 4th, 2025, you were also looking at WhatsApp again, correct?
Probably. I was using WhatsApp every day
You were using WhatsApp every day.
for work.
Now, okay. And you testified yesterday about your work bag and the medication that was in it, right?
Yes.
And you testified that your work bag is used for when you're on call, correct?
That's correct.
And you testified that you normally keep medication in there to provide if it's a rush situation, right?
Yes.
And the medication that you keep there can be dangerous, correct?
That's correct.
The medication that you keep in that bag can kill somebody, right?
I'll have to look at the medication that's in there, but a lot of the medications that I use at work can be lethal if not given appropriately.
Well, it's published States Exhibit 98. Can you see
So that's a
the
yes. So that's a
file
yes.
on the bottom right of this bag?
Yes, I can.
Do you need me to zoom in to read the label?
No, I know what that is.
The trade name of this drug is called Diprivan. Is that correct?
That's correct.
The actual name of the drug, or the scientific name, is called propofol, correct?
That's correct.
Propofol
Oh, you're
is
kidding me right
one
now.
of the main
That's the Michael Jackson drug.
sleep during anesthesia, correct?
It's a very common drug that we use
Michael
to
Jackson
initiate
drug.
and sometimes maintain anesthesia.
Propofol is rather famous, right?
Jackson?
Yes.
Propofol is the drug
It's
that killed
fatal.
Michael Jackson. Is that right?
That's right.
You've heard of that story, of course.
Yes.
You mean in the stuff that Corey asked for?
It is not a controlled substance. That's correct.
That's correct.
And you actually have a controlled substance license yourself, too, right?
I do.
So you can carry more dangerous drugs than propofol, correct?
Yeah, I don't think I can. I think because my controlled substance license doesn't allow me to dispense. It just allows me to administer. And so all of our controlled substances are
Crap.
controlled at all of the locations where we work. And so we have to check them out and check them back in and then document all of the vials that we use during the day. I've never taken controlled substances home. I would never. It's not something I want to get into. So I don't even know if it's allowed under my license, but I could administer it.
Okay, dude. That was
Now-
my answer.
Let's take this exhibit down. And let's talk about March 24th, 2025. It was a normal morning, right?
Yes.
You and Ariel weren't fighting when you woke up at the hotel, correct?
No.
You gave her that birthday card, right?
Yes.
And then you and Ariel go to the bakery and get breakfast, correct?
No, we went and got breakfast in the hotel.
And then you go to the bakery to get coffee, right?
Coffee and pastries. Yeah.
And
Oh my gosh, he has to control everything. Could have just said yes. No, I have to correct you and tell you I had breakfast there and I had pastries there.
then you and Ariel head out in your rental car up to the Poly Puka. Is that right?
That's right.
You drive up the Poly Highway, right?
Yes.
And you park in the parking lot at the Poly Lookout, correct?
That's right.
And you knew from your research into this hike that 99% of the people up at that lookout would not be going on the trail, correct?
I'm going to argue it.
I
I'm always gonna
didn't know
argue it.
the actual amount, but I knew the lookout was popular and the hike was less popular.
So yeah.
And that actually said 99% versus 1%.
Yes.
Where did what say?
The
Oh,
website you researched.
the journey article. Oh yeah, that did say that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that did say that. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
The website
Nice
even told
save
you-
there.
Does that make the hike dangerous? You decide. Is that right?
No, the website when the website said that, it was talking about the trail being next to a cliff, not the trail being some isolated, secluded spot that there's no people.
The website said you decide if the trail is dangerous, correct?
No, the website said specifically, it's not dangerous if you stay on the trail.
I saw
But if you don't stay on the trail, you might fall off the cliff. Is that dangerous? You decide.
And you saw that cliff, right?
I did. On the picture,
And you saw that cliff was at minimum several hundred feet high, correct?
yes,
You know, common sense tells you somebody falls off that cliff, they're going to die, right?
that's correct.
Anybody knows that, dude.
And the website even tells you that the hike spits you out on the edge of a cliff with a huge drop off. Is that right?
That's right.
And that photo that we looked at shows the trail going right along the cliff edge, correct?
For parts of it.
And this is the hike that you wanted to take Ariel on for her birthday, right?
Yes.
Is that what she wanted to do, or is that what you wanted to do?
You wanted to go through the start of the hike, correct?
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
You wanted to do more than just start the hike, correct?
I wanted to do more than just start the hike. That's correct.
You wanted to do the whole hike, is that right?
That was the plan.
Wow.
You wanted to take Ariel through that cliffside path that we saw in that photo, correct?
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, I wanted to take her on the hike and go with her on the hike and make it all the way to the puka. That was the plan.
Publishing States Exhibit 122. You wanted to take Ariel along this path,
Right.
right?
That's right.
Wouldn't you agree that that path is right on the edge of the cliff?
Sure is.
Yeah, it's very, very close to the edge of the cliff.
It's a narrow path, right?
It's a narrow path, and then there's a little narrow strip of grass and rocks, and then there's the cliff.
An empty void, right?
Yes.
Nothing to hold on to, right?
For this part of the trail, not much. I mean, there's some brush on the other side, but you have to really watch your step.
God.
But Ariel didn't go that far on the trail that day, did she?
No.
So Ariel didn't want to hike anymore, right?
Oh.
Yeah, there came a point in time where Ariel did not want to hike anymore.
Good for her.
Ariel deviated from your plan to go up this part of the trail, right?
Huh?
I wouldn't characterize it like that.
Well, you planned to go up this part of the trail, correct?
That's correct.
And she didn't
Ariel
want to.
didn't follow through with that part of the plan,
She
right?
didn't want to. She didn't want to. And you didn't like
And
that.
at some point, you actually continue up the trail yourself, right?
That's right.
Without Ariel,
That's right.
on her birthday.
That's right.
That's so nice.
But she didn't follow you, correct?
No.
She didn't follow you up to this narrow trail,
So he's like,
this massive.
fine, I'll go by myself. I can see it now. Fine, you wait here. You're ruining my hike plan.
Cliff, correct?
That's correct.
And then you went back down, isn't that right?
That's right.
And you saw that she was still there, right?
Yes,
And it was a surprise to you, right?
it was.
It was a surprise to you because you still had a chance to go through with your plan, right?
What plan are you referring to?
You know, bud.
It was a surprise because you still had a chance to go through with your plan to push Ariel off the cliff. Isn't that right?
Right?
That is not right at all.
Absolutely.
The area
He thought
where
he
you and Ariel ended up still had a massive cliff next to it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
The area where you took the selfie had a
Mm-hmm.
massive cliff behind it, correct?
that's correct.
Absolutely.
It would work just as well as the area in this photo to push somebody off, correct?
100%.
It would work just as well to push somebody off. What do you like? I don't understand the question.
Somebody would be just as dead if they fell off this part or if they fell off the part where you guys ended up.
Absolutely. Because the cliff is extremely high.
He doesn't play dumb very well at all. This is great. I love
Before we get
this lawyer. He's great.
to the final parts of the trail, you testified this morning and you said, please do correct me if I'm wrong here,
Oh, he will.
that you were not sexually demanding of Ariel. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That is your testimony.
Yes,
You and Ariel went to couples counseling, isn't that correct?
that's correct.
And when you went to couples counseling, you testified about the counseling yesterday, right?
Yes.
And
Oh, maybe approach. Oh, there's a touchy subject there happening. Oh, lawyer's going to try and get in there and keep it from coming in. Oh, this guy. He's going to try and listen. They're obviously going to try and bring something in there about the sexual coercion that's happening, that she said, and that was brought in today, that he threatened if she didn't have sex with him, that he would tell everyone about the affair. So I don't know how that kind of relationship is. Yeah, he's going to try and drink some water and swallow down the truth. Sorry, buddy, that's not going to work for you. Nice try. Yeah, just swallow that plan down that you had to off your wife on a fucking Hawaii trip on her birthday. This guy is so arrogant. I really hope he slips up in his answers. I really, really do. But it doesn't matter. There's a lot of evidence. So, but yeah, he was surprised because he thought he had lost his opportunity, I think. And then he was like, on the fly, I was like, oh, I could still maybe do this. I could still maybe do this. Very plausible. Hmm. They're at a sidebar right now, by the way. His lawyer's trying to argue something, but I think it's going to still be let in. His lawyer's trying to do something, but the prosecution was just asking him about his sexual coercion of his wife. Now we're at sidebar. Sidebar. Let's see if I have any room to fast forward here.
What's the question?
What's the question?
So in December 2024,
Okay.
after you confronted Ariel about this relationship, you
Yes.
still wanted to have sex with her every other day.
That is
Correct.
not true.
That's
We had sex for a portion of December, and it was not every other day. And I never demanded to have sex with her every other day in December or at any point in time in our relationship.
so she's a liar.
And
So she lied.
after December 24th,
So she lied.
After December 24th, we did not have sex again.
and
Oh,
you testified yesterday that you went to couples counseling, correct?
That's
very
correct.
mad too.
And you testified that there were other issues, right?
That's right.
And one of those issues was an intimacy issue, correct?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
And the couples therapist you saw, at least one of them was named Gemma Cannon, correct?
That's right.
And she had a meeting with you in December 2024, right?
She met with both of us on December 27th.
December 27th. So this is the same day as you've had this continued fight with Ariel, right?
We had, I would say, two arguments, two big arguments in December, and one was around the middle of the month, and the other one was on the night of December 26th, and then we argued about it again on the morning of December 27th, right before counseling. That's correct.
So you went to counseling with both you and Ariel, correct?
That's right.
And you both told the counselor what your problems were, right?
Yes.
And the counselor, Miss Cannon,
Objection. You're saying what somebody else said. Excuse me? No. It's not substantive.
okay, so you and Ariel both told the counselor what your problems were, right?
Yes.
Your problem was the same problem you talked about a lot already, right? The
Yeah.
emotional affair.
The main issue that I wanted to address was the aftermath of the emotional affair, which included a lot of different issues in our relationship. It wasn't just one thing. It was a big kind of,
I don't know. I don't believe him.
that's right.
And the counselor listened to both of you and came up with a plan. That's right.
That's right.
And the counselor's plan was to deal with the intimacy issues first, correct?
The counselor's plan was to deal with the issues that Ariel brought up first. Yes.
That was the intimacy issues.
Yeah, part of it.
And then she would deal with the affair afterwards, right?
Yes, and not afterwards, but because again, these are not just like things you check off, off of a to-do list. The affair was causing a lot of issues in our relationship, and addressing those issues were going to take probably years. And the issues that Ari brought up, similarly, was also not just going to be a check off the box thing, and it's probably going to take some time. And the counselor said that she's going to start off with the other issues, and not start off with the affair issues, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't just like we were going to finish the one, check it off the box, and then move on to the next.
Yeah, we know
There's
that.
overlapping issues,
We
and it's
know.
all to do with the
We get
relationship.
it, dude.
And so it's
Move
it's not fair to characterize it like we were going to finish one and then move on to the other. But we were definitely going to.
Oh my
She
god.
said, we're going to basically let's prioritize talking about the issues that she brought up first. Get her, are you okay with, waiting to address a lot of the issues to do with the affair until later in therapy? And I said, absolutely.
And you testified yesterday that those issues about the affair were never really resolved. Is that right?
No. Yes, that's right.
So talk about Ariel's issues, and the issues you brought up were never resolved, correct?
I'm sorry. Ask that again.
The first priority was Ariel's issues, the intimacy issues, correct?
The first priority was Ariel's issues, and intimacy was one of them.
And then your issue, the emotional affair, was never addressed, correct?
And our issue, the affair, wasn't adequately addressed ever either. And neither were the emotional issues. And I have to say, part of the affair and the aftermath of the affair, I had emotional issues, intimacy issues as well with her. So the intimacy issues went both ways. And when we
Just
Stop
That's my next
talking,
go ahead, sorry.
dude. He's used to being in control of the room. You can tell. Yeah, his relentless overtures are quite annoying, but he has to correct all the semantics constantly, which is very much like a
Okay.
put my
Let's go
thumb
back
down
to
on you.
Okay.
Let me go.
March 24th, 2025, you testified about the hike yesterday, correct?
Yes.
You testified that you and Ariel had a massive argument, right?
Yes.
You testified that on her birthday, Ariel brought up the subject. She knew what upset you, right? I'm sorry. You didn't testify to that, but that is what happened, correct?
That is what happened, yes.
You testified that Ariel brought up that she wanted to go back to work and speak to Jeff Miller again, correct?
Um,
Oh, I'm
she was still
sorry.
working, so she wasn't trying to go back to work. She wanted to start traveling with him again.
Again, semantics, dude. Yes or no question. It's just the constant having to be right in every semantic is so controlling.
And your testimony is that this is what Ariel decides to bring up on her birthday trip with you, right?
Yes.
And that she decides to bring this up on the Palipuka Trail, right?
That's where she brought it up.
That's a
That's correct.
bad idea for her. Holy crap.
You testify that you have this argument,
Bad idea.
you separate, and then you come back together, right?
Yes.
You take this selfie right by the cliff, correct?
Yes.
And then you testified that Ariel pushed you, right?
Yes.
You
Bull.
testified that you could barely hold on, right?
This is such bullshit. He did not get pushed. There's no version or physical proof that he was pushed by a woman off this cliff.
I almost went off the cliff.
And then you turned around and you testified that Ariel was 5 to 10 feet away, right?
By the time I turned around, she had backed away, and she was not. And yeah, that was part of why I was concerned that that was a shove and not a accidental thing.
And then you approached her, you went towards her.
I did.
So
He's too much.
you think you about to get pushed off a cliff, and then you go 5 or 10 feet to get to Ariel, right?
I moved towards her. That's correct.
And then you say that Ariel pulled you onto the ground, right?
That's correct.
That's bull.
You're bigger than Ariel, right?
Okay, first of all, someone tries to push you off a cliff. Of course, you're going to get away from the edge. You're going to go towards the person that just tried to push you off a cliff. How stupid does he think other people are? He's really deluded in his perceptions of, first of all, how this sounds, and second of all, people's intelligence.
You have at least, or at the time of the offense, or at the time of the incident, you had at least 20 pounds on her, right?
Yeah, roughly 20 pounds.
You're stronger than her, right?
Probably.
Men are usually stronger than women.
You're a doctor, so you know that men generally are stronger than women, correct?
Yes,
Exactly, dude.
It's just a scientific matter of testosterone, right?
that's true.
Uh-huh.
So you testify that Ariel managed to pull you to the ground and she pulled you on
She's not a wrestler, dude. Like, I don't understand how he thinks this is a believable story.
top of her, right?
That's correct.
Sorry. No. Nope.
Then you testified that Ariel wouldn't let you go from on top of her, right?
That's correct.
You testified that she wrapped her legs around you, right?
She wrapped at least one leg around me. Yes.
So another wrestling move. She wrapped her legs around you and grabbed your testicles and did something with another hand or something. Like,
Yesterday you said legs, right?
oh shit.
I think I said leg.
I think I said
It was at least one.
I think I said leg.
And you testified that she grabbed your testicles, right?
She did.
And that she wouldn't let go, right?
That's right.
All this time, you were on top of her, right?
That's correct.
Oh my god. This guy is just too much.
And then you testified that Ariel took that rock. I'm going to grab Exhibit 2 right now. You testified that Ariel took this rock and hit you in the face. Isn't that right?
That's right.
And you said, the
Bullshit.
first hit, she got me kind of good, right?
That's right.
And you said she kept trying, right?
That's right.
And you testified you tried to start blocking it, right?
Yes.
And you testified she actually got a couple more hits in, right?
Yes.
So, you don't know how many hits, right?
No.
One good hit to the side of your face, correct?
That's right.
Interesting body language. Trying to hold it together, dear.
Publish States Exhibit 236.
He's trying to hold his shit together on his face, but I don't know. I think he's gonna start to try and fake cry here. That's my thoughts. Gonna need
This is a photo of you from March 24th, 2025, correct?
That's right.
This is immediately after the police arrested you, right?
That's right.
This is the
Holy
closest
shit.
photo of you after Ariel hit you with this rock, right?
Oh,
That's right.
his face looks terrifying.
Publish alongside States Exhibit 1.
He looks scary there. Holy shit. Isn't that from when the police jumped him down though? Like jumped on him or something? Oh my god. Oh my god.
So on the right side, we have you.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, that was terrifying.
Only 2 times, correct?
That's
Oh
correct.
my gosh. Oh my god,
Let's move on to the next day.
that poor woman. What the
We're going to publish States, I'm sorry, not the next day. We're going to publish States D30 on the right side. I'm sorry,
god, she survived.
Defense 30 on the right side.
What a monster.
Okay, look at the right side of the screen.
I
please.
can't. I honestly can't believe.
This photo on the right side of the screen is you at the hospital, correct?
That's correct.
He looks
You at the hospital on
Barely
the night
injured.
of March 24th, 2025, correct?
That's correct.
This is you at the hospital after Ariel got a good hit on you with,
he barely has scratches on his face. Look at her. She's covered in blood.
this rock, correct?
That's right.
She's covered in blood. Dude.
On the left side of the screen, I'm going to put up States 23.
I don't. Oh my god.
This is Ariel at the hospital, correct?
Oh,
That's right.
This is
Oh,
Ariel at the hospital after your
shit.
2 hits, correct?
That's right.
Look at her. Look at her head. Look at her head. Oh my.
You say only 2 hits to Ariel, right?
I only hit her 2 times.
This is the front of Ariel's face after those 2 hits, right?
Yes.
There's a bit more than 2.
States 22.
One under both eyes, one on her
Put up states 27.
eyebrow, and look at the top of her head is really bad.
This is Ariel's hand after those. This is Ariel's hand after those 2 hits, right?
Yes.
And lastly, we'll put up on the left side states 1, 2, 8. On the left side of the screen, that's Ariel on March 25th, 2025, correct?
I don't know when that picture was taken, but I'll take your word for it.
That's Ariel the day afterwards, right?
Like I said, I don't know when that picture was taken, but I'll take your word for it.
We'll publish on the right side states 239.
Wow. Yeah, you'll take his word for it, all right. That's a good view. Flip them upside down.
Flip it upside correctly. And this is you again, correct?
Yes.
This is you on March 25th, 2025, right?
I think
Yeah.
that was like the night of, like
Yeah.
just after midnight, but
But he
it
had,
was
had
it was after
no-
the previous picture. That's
no
right.
injuries on him.
This is you one day after Ariel hit you really good with this rock, isn't it?
That's right.
Bullshit. Yeah, right, dude. Are you kidding me? Does he think anybody believes him? Does he think anybody thinks this is a viable story? I don't understand how stupid an educated man like this could be to think that he is has a credible story. Like, seriously, dude. I don't. Let me just see if they had any more court or if that's done for the day or what.
Full counsel of record are present. All jurors are back in the courtroom. Mr. Barnes, you can continue.
I have no further questions.
Mr. Taki,
Perfect.
can you read that right?
Yes. Okay, Gerhard, I'm gonna just try to jam through this. I know it's been a long day. You're asked about going into detective mode. Why did you go into detective mode when you saw these things and learned about what Ariel had been doing or communicating, the way she was communicating with Mr. Miller? Why did you go into detective mode?
I just needed to find out details about the relationship.
For you, it was something you were searching for information.
She was obviously deleting things and trying to hide
Isn't
things. I
he
just wanted to
testifying
understand
on behalf of the defendant
what was going on, really.
feeding
The
words
extent
to
of
him?
the extent of the
Yes.
you were asked about
The
the
lawyer's
text
testifying.
messages from 12/1 that started, and that was a Sunday. Remember that?
That's right.
And you were asked about, well, I would say good morning, and then it went on throughout the day, Christmas lights, what you're doing all day long until good night. And you were asked that, there was nothing sexual in there. Were you still concerned that on a Sunday your wife was communicating with another man all day long,
Yeah. Yes.
even though there wasn't?
I don't understand
Did the
how
text messages
how
still
this
concern
lawyer
you,
is
even
like
though
feeding him
the
like a
word sexual wasn't
3-sentence
in there?
answer.
Yes.
That's all he has to say is, yep. Yep.
Were you concerned by the text messages on that Sunday between your wife and another man?
Same objection. Sustained. That's legal.
So leading, like
How
beyond.
did you feel about the text messages on that Sunday between your wife and another man?
I was very worried.
Worried. Hmm.
Why did you tell Bryant first? Why did you reach out to Bryant?
I reached out to Bryant because he was one of my best friends, and I needed advice, and I wanted to give him a heads up about what was going to happen on the trip.
When you
So, hold on a second. This is another red flag. So you gave your best friend enough respect to give him a heads up about what was going to happen on the trip, but you couldn't be bothered to give your wife a heads up about that something was going to go down at this trip. Maybe you could have pulled her aside if you still respected her and said, you know what, I found something out. I know we're going on a trip, but we're going to have to talk about it at some point privately. No. What do? You disrespect her by telling your best friend first. You disrespect her again by telling her best friend when she's in the bathroom in a restaurant. You smear her image before she can even know that you've told all other people, before you've even spoken to her about it. That's really, hold on, disgusting.
and Ariel talked about her quitting her job. What was your interest?
My interest was for her to terminate her relationship and her contact with Jeffrey Miller.
Were you going to be perfect? Were you okay with her getting another job?
Absolutely.
Was there a conversation about her looking for another job?
Sustain.
His lawyer really tries to testify for him, that's for sure.
Did you and Ariel talk about what would happen if she quit her current job?
Yes.
And what did you guys discuss?
She was going to look for another job. And one of the threads that I read in Reddit talked about that idea, and then it used that acronym, and so then I was like, oh, what is this? So I looked up the acronym, and that's what it was. And so then I searched that acronym on Reddit to kind of get more information about people dealing with that specific issue.
You were asked about the 2018 Word document about the 2018 taxes and about the child support and alimony. Well, we talked about this the other day, so just really quickly, what other information was on there?
Oh, everything to do with our taxes. So, yeah, I don't know if you want to go into specifics, but
So it wasn't just the alimony and child support.
that's right.
Do you typically wake up early in the morning?
Yes.
Okay. This
You,
okay. I think we might be done for the day, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just going to pause this for a minute. I still can't get over the pictures of his wife compared to him after the incident. I still cannot get over the fact that he is literally thinking that it's a credible story that she pulled him down to the ground, grabbed his testicles, hit him with a rock several times, and tried to push him off a cliff. If you look, even if you just look at the physical evidence, if you look at the amount of injuries on her compared to him, it just doesn't even make logical sense. But yeah, it's just a very sad case because it's like, this is very unhealthy, narcissistic, I would say sociopathic behavior. Because you know what? You're not only hurting her, obviously you tried to kill her and get away with it and meticulously planned to make it look like an accident. You also brought your own son into this, psychologically damaged him by your behavior, and now is trying to discredit even what you said to him. And so these are all really cruel and inhumane behaviors that don't take empathy into interactions with other people. I see tears. I see, well, what looks like kind of tears, but I feel like mostly what I see is anger and control and maybe upset for himself, but I don't see much more than that from my observation so far. So I don't know if they're done for the day. It's 9:02, so I'm going to end the stream, but thanks for hanging out with me. I had to jump onto this case because this guy is just screaming so many, I wouldn't even call them red flags. I would call them even more dangerous flags than that. I don't know what color would be more dangerous than a red flag, but these are deadly flags. Like this guy couldn't handle the notion of her. He just got worse and worse. Like it's obvious he wasn't trying to work on his relationship, but he was definitely growing in his, I was going to say detestment, but I don't think that's an English word. He detested her. He didn't respect her anymore. And it was a matter of time. So I'm so thankful that she's alive and that he will, God willing, get the ultimate sentence, because no one should be around him. He obviously should not be a doctor of any kind. He should not be working with vulnerable people. He should not be around children or women. He's not a safe person in society. So that's a heavy one, but also I hope everyone's doing well and have a great night.